In the last lesson, we learned how to use WowJS JavaScript library to create some anime.css animations as the user scrolled down the page. In this lesson, we'll learn how to perform scroll hijacking by making use of another handy plugin called OnePage Scroll.js. So if we look at this OnePage Scroll plugin's website, we can see how it works. There's a pagination over here, and if we try to scroll with our mouse wheel, it scrolls down the entire page. We scroll back up, it scrolls back up the entire page. We can use the pagination to navigate as well. And indeed, it's pretty neat. So the way to implement this is really simple. We just declare a class of like an element with a class, and then say OnePage Scroll on it. All the children, like all the immediate children of that element, will become these slides. So let's get started, and we'll create a new folder here, and we'll call it OnePage Scroll. Drag that into Sublime Text. Create a new file here. We'll call it index.html and add our generic boilerplate to it. We'll call it OnePage Scroll. Save that. Go ahead and make our folder, our CSS folder. Inside of that, we'll add a new file, our style.style file. We'll save that. Make sure that we're importing our style sheet. And let's open up a terminal, cd to our desktop, cd to our OnePage Scroll folder, cd to our CSS folder, and then run our stylus use auto prefixer stylus watch style.style. Okay, good, it's watching it. Now we need to add our markup in here. So we'll create a div with the class of main. Inside of that div, we'll make a couple sections. And just inside of each of those sections, we'll have a h1 tag that says hello world. And inside of our second section, we'll have an h1 tag that says hello world 2. We'll save that. Now we need to go grab the actual OnePage Scroll JavaScript file. So we'll go to GitHub. And here it is, OnePage Scroll min.js. And we'll just click raw there. And we'll select all, copy that, and we'll add this to a new folder called JS. Inside that, we'll create a new file called OnePage Scroll.js. And we'll just paste that in there and save. Okay, now we need to make sure that we are calling that. So we'll come down here and add a new script tag. Say JS OnePage Scroll.js. And we need jQuery as well. So we'll go find the Google CDN version of it. So it's Google for Google CDN. Click on jQuery here and grab this 2 snippet. Paste that in above our OnePage Scroll.js file. Make sure to put the HTTP protocol in front of it since we're running locally. And we also need the CSS file for it. So we'll go back to the repository. Click on this OnePage Scroll CSS file, click raw, we'll just copy that, come back over here and add that file to our CSS folder. We'll call it OnePage Scroll.css. We'll paste that in there, save it, and now in our stylus style sheet, we can just say @import OnePage Scroll.css and save it. Now we need to make another main.js file, so we'll go into our JavaScript folder here and say main.js, and we'll load that underneath our imports for jQuery and OnePage Scroll here. So say script source.js main.js and save it. And we'll come over here and we'll use our jQuery ready function. And we'll call it on this this main container here. And we'll just say OnePage _ scroll open close parentheses and save it. And now we'll open this file up. And voila, we've got scroll hijacking. But wouldn't it be cooler if these elements slid into position whenever you went to the slide? Like if they weren't already there, just sitting there statically. If we right click on here and we go down to inspect element, we can see that this section has the class of active on it. And if we scroll up, the active switches to this section. So what we can do is we can make a keyframe animation that is only present whenever the active class is on. So let's go and do that real quick. So inside of our style sheet, we'll come down here and say keyframes slide in from left. We'll say it's 0%. We want the margin left to be negative 100%. And at 100%, we want the margin left just to be 0, just cancel it out. And then we'll come in here and we'll say, whenever a section is active, we want the H1 in that section to have this animation. So animation, slide in from left, and we'll have it go for 2 seconds, and we want it to move forwards. So that means whenever it slides in from the left side and comes into the middle, or into the actual slide, it'll just stay there. It won't keep repeating or anything like that. So we'll save it. Now let's refresh. And voila. Now let's style this up just a little bit more to make it look a little bit prettier. So let's go in here and make our first section, give it a background color of, we'll say like a light red color. And our second section, we'll say nth child 2. So this is the second section. We'll give it a background color of a light blue color. And we'll give both of them a text color of white. We'll make the text align to center for both of them. And the font family will be sans serif for both of them. So save that, refresh. Pretty cool, huh? So now you might notice that these this pagination over here is black whenever we want it to be, let's say a different color. So what we can do is right click and inspect element. And look for where it's getting the black color. So maybe this anchor here, we open it up. Okay, this before tag here has a border of black. So what we can do is just click here to select this selector. And come down here and just drop that selector in. And we can say border color white. And then refresh. And now we've got that one. And we'll inspect element on this little bullet here. And do the same thing. It's just the background color this time. So we'll select that selector. Come down here, drop it in, and say background color white, and save it and refresh. So now we've customized the pagination, we've got animation, and not only are we animating during our scroll hijacking, like between slides, but we're also sliding in fresh content. So this content could be anything. It could be SVGs, it could be video, it could be a paragraph. You can be sliding in stuff from all over, and that's, a lot of people do that to great effect. But personally, I'm not a big fan of scroll hijacking. I don't like whenever things take over control of my mouse, and a lot of people feel very similar. But it's very dependent on the project that you're working on and your needs from the client and such. So this might work for you.